Today I want to share with you the 40 things that we no longer buy, as well as their frugal replacements. Frugality is such a personal thing, but I have found that for the most part, if we focus on making a bunch of little small changes in our lives, that those changes can add up to a huge savings. This is going to be a two-part video. I'm going to try to make my videos a little bit shorter, talk a little bit faster, and get straight to the point. We no longer buy Drano. If you take little garlic bags, wrap it around the shower grate, it makes an excellent filter and it catches all sorts of little hair and debris that normally fall into the drain that you then have to unclog. It's really quick and easy and it saved us a lot of headache. Plus we don't have to pay for these harsh, expensive chemicals. We don't even have to do the baking soda and vinegar trick for any of our drains because we're taking care and making sure that none of the debris get inside of it in the first place to block it off. We no longer buy souvenirs. If I've learned anything from my son's Cub Scouting, it's that you should take only photos and leave only footprints. Travel is already expensive enough as it is. To have to pay for things to remember your trip, it just seems a little bit too much to me. So we try to take memories and photos in place of souvenirs. We no longer buy dish sponges. In place, we use mesh bags that come from produce, or also, have you ever had those odd size reusable grocery bags that you just can't really reuse for groceries? Well, I've found that these make really great dish sponges. I cut those into strips and I can usually get 16 squares out of them. My square shown here is about 3.5 inches by 6 inches. I found these to be really great replacements for dish sponges and they dry really quickly. All you really have to do is wash off the food bits that are stuck onto it, lay it flat, and it will dry really quickly. I've been using these for years now and I haven't had any issues with weird mold or smells or anything like that. We no longer buy hangers. We've decluttered a lot of our clothes. We don't need any additional hangers, but when we did, we would go to Target and Walmart and ask them for their extra hangers. People would often buy clothes but not take the hangers. Usually the cashiers have a little box right by them, and I found that if you ask really nicely, most of them will allow you to just have at the box and take whatever you need. We no longer buy travel mugs. It always seems like we're getting those as gifts, but we don't even use them at all. We've gotten into the habit of using recycled Tezo tea bottles. These are bottles that my brother-in-law will bring over because he drinks this tea in place of water, which I think is so expensive, but he'll leave these bottles and we'll just wash them out and reuse them, and they're great. We don't have any problems with spillage like we do with travel mugs, and they fit nicely into the cup holders of all of the cars. We no longer buy Christmas wrapping paper. We're not Scrooges, I promise. We just have boxes that we have pre-covered and pre-wrapped that we use every year. And this helps us to not only not buy wrapping paper and eliminate that waste, but it also limits the size of the gifts that we give to each other. We no longer buy food bag clips. I found those to be very expensive and just unnecessary. We use paper binder clips instead. I found that these are stronger, cheaper, and they're such a great investment. They can be used in cord management, you can use them to clip hand towels, and of course, you can use them to bind papers as well. Show me a food bag clip that can perform these other functions. We no longer buy home decor. This was an area that I had a lot of issues with early on, but even if we do want anything new, we'll often do DIYs, and I found these to be much more meaningful and interesting too, as they become story pieces for company whenever they come over. We no longer buy paper towels. Paper towels are so expensive. In place of paper towels, we use microfiber cloths from the dollar stores. I found those to be a really high quality, last for a really long time. In fact, I've had some for over 10 years from the dollar stores. I found that the ones from the automotive section are of really high quality, so I usually shop that aisle for any microfiber cloth that I may need. I no longer buy kid party favors and kid party themed stuff. I did buy those themed party paper goods for my son's birthday when he was much younger, But I always found that there would be some leftovers and I wouldn't know what to do with them because I couldn't use them for subsequent years because the next year was going to be a different theme. So I've gotten into the habit of just buying plain bulk items that can be reused year after year, regardless of the event. I found that this is much less expensive and generates less waste as well. We no longer buy Unitaskers. I found that with basic tools, knives, scissors, utensils, you can perform most kitchen needs. We no longer buy K-cups. In place of that, we use a stovetop espresso maker, and this was a $15 investment that we made. It really made up for the cost. This is an item that is 100% stainless steel, and we can reuse it for year after year, and it really makes a really delicious, high-end tasting coffee. Like, it can take Folgers and make it something amazing. Room sprays and air fresheners, we no longer buy those. In place of those, we use just rubbing alcohol and essential oils, and that works really well for us. We no longer buy crafting material. I've gotten crafty with just things that we have around the house already. Paper products, clothes that have holes in it. All these things I'm able to make pretty cool stuff out of, and I feel like it's extra challenging as well, and I'm always up for a challenge. We no longer buy a label maker or label maker products. I found that with packaging tape and a laser printer that we already own, we can make beautiful, elegant labels that cost pretty much nothing, and they're so customizable. We no longer buy specialty foaming soap refills. If you just take 1 part dish soap and 3 parts of water, mix it together, there you go. You have specialty foaming soap at a fraction of the price. We no longer buy specialty cleaners. I found that just some basic ingredients can replace so many cleaning products. You don't need anything fancy to get rid of dirt. We no longer buy greeting cards. We're not antisocial. We just like to make our own. So we use just plain paper and some construction paper, and we can make such beautiful things out of it, especially if you take a little bit of time and make it a family affair. It's really fun, and you're just kind of building things, and then the end product looks so beautiful. We no longer buy glassware. We use pasta jars and some of those Tezo tea bottles from my brother-in-law. These are really sturdy, high-quality glasswares that we can reuse, and they come free to us with either our food or people just leave them here. We no longer buy traditional school pink erasers. You know what I'm talking about? Like those ones that you used in school that leave those little pink bits. We don't buy those. What we use in place is called a moldable eraser. The moldable erasers are a little bit more costly than the traditional pink erasers, but they last for years. My son's teacher had hers for over a decade, and my son has now had his for over 4 years, and it's still holding strong. He loves it so much. It's part toy, part tool for him. He loves being able to play with it in his hands. It's got this kind of silly putty consistency, so he's able to play around and work. And moms, these erasers do not leave those little pink bits. It just picks up whatever graphite from the pencil, and it's magic. It just goes into it. You need to buy this. That's it for part 1. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel so you can see part 2. I plan to include some of my bigger money saving tips in this portion of the video. And before I leave you, I just want to say, this YouTube experience has been such a wild ride. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever expect to reach this milestone. Since Money Mom shouted out to me on her channel, I've experienced a huge growth. And I'm forever grateful to her, not just for the shout out, but for her invaluable daily short videos that she posts with her great positive messages. She's always very relatable, uplifting, and educational. If Money Mom is not part of your YouTube, she really needs to be. Please visit her channel and show her some love by hitting that subscribe button and binging on her videos. That'll be one of the best frugal things that you do. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support and for your kind words. It really means so much to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.